Assalamu alaikum. The topic for today is private costs and benefits, social costs and benefits, and externalities. What is an externality? Externality is also known as spillover effect. It is either the cost borne by the third party as a result of a transaction, or it's a benefit enjoyed by the third party as a result of a transaction. Who are third parties? Third parties are people or economic agents who are not directly involved in manufacturing or consumption of goods and services. There are several examples of externalities, one of which is construction of roads. Those who haven't contributed towards building the roads in form of money or in form of taxes, they are also enjoying the benefits of those roads. Also, people who are not going to buy a good which is produced, the pollution may cause harm to them. So it's a cost that they have to bear without being directly involved in manufacture, purchase, or consumption of goods and services. Externalities can be positive and they can be negative. A negative externality is when the third party has to bear negative effects of an economic transaction which involves either production of goods or purchase and consumption of those goods. And positive externality is when there are positive side effects of an economic transaction. Before we move to graphs of externalities, we first need to see the costs, the type of costs that we would be talking about while explaining externalities. The types of costs that we will be talking about are private costs and social costs and external costs. The kind of benefits that we will be talking about include private benefits, social benefits, and external benefits. What are private costs? Private costs are the cost borne directly by firms or individuals involved in manufacturing or purchasing goods and services. Private benefits are the benefits enjoyed by the parties directly involved in manufacture, purchase, and consumption of goods and services. The word private here means directly related to those people who are directly involved, the producers, consumers, suppliers, and people who purchase any goods or services. External costs and external benefits. What are external costs? External costs are the costs borne by third parties or the costs that arise out of externalities. External costs are the costs borne by the third party, and external benefits are the benefits enjoyed by the third party as a result of an economic transaction. What are social costs? Social means costs related to the society, and social benefits are benefits related to the society. When we are talking about social costs are the total cost incurred either by the private parties or third parties. Therefore, the formula for social costs is private costs plus external costs. When we are talking about social benefits, we talk about benefits, cumulative benefits to the private entities and the external parties, or benefits that result as externalities. Therefore, the formula for social benefits is private benefits plus external benefits. Now, we are going to talk about two kinds of externalities. We are going to talk about negative externalities, externalities of consumption, as well as externalities of production. Externalities of consumption arise when the third party have to bear costs as a result of action of consumers. Externalities of production, they arise when third party has to bear the cost as a result of producers or production, as a result of actions of producers. So, how do we draw or how do we diagrammatically represent externalities of consumption? When we are talking about externalities of consumption, marginal social benefit is less than marginal private benefits. That is why this is an externality. We know that social benefit is equals to private benefit plus external benefit. We know this already. When marginal social benefit is less than marginal private benefit, it means that external benefit is less, private benefit is more. What could be an example of externality of consumption, negative externality of consumption? It can be smoking. You are smoking as a smoker, but others might have to face the side effects as passive smoking. Let's have a look at the graph. We have quantity on the x-axis, we have price on the y-axis. Whenever we are talking about negative externality of consumption, the costs do not change, the cost stays the same. For example, this is the cost, this is marginal social cost is equals to marginal private cost. What actually changes or what actually we need to observe is the benefit. This is the marginal private benefit. And as we can see that marginal social benefit is less than marginal private benefit, it will be this curve. This is the marginal social benefit curve. Marginal social benefit will be less than the marginal private benefit. So this is the marginal social benefit curve. Let's see where will be the allocative efficiency. When we're talking about allocative efficiency is at this point. At this point, there is allocative efficiency, which is Q1, and this is P1. However, the society wants it to be produced at this quantity. Society wants this quantity to be produced at this price. Let's name it Q star and P star. There is presence of an externality. What is the externality in this case? This is the externality. This triangle is the negative externality of consumption. Negative externality of consumption. How do we identify the dead weight loss or externality? This is the dead weight loss to the society. How do we identify the dead weight loss? We identify it when there is a triangle that is always pointing towards the social benefit curve. This is the dead weight loss to the society. When you are to provide an analysis and evaluation of a question which is talking about negative externality of consumption, you can say that there is overproduction and therefore overconsumption, as we can see that the optimal production should have been at this point. Optimal production should have been at this point if all the benefits were taken into account. Therefore, we can see that there is an overproduction and therefore overconsumption. There is also misallocation of resources, and all of it is done because the private parties, they have put self-interest or their own interest before anything else. Now, we will talk about externality, negative externality of production. When we are talking about production, obviously the benefits stay the same, but there's a difference in the cost. Whatever is happening to the cost. Says marginal social cost is greater than marginal private cost. We know that social cost is equals to private cost plus external cost. If marginal social cost is greater, it means that uh, private cost is less and external cost is greater. Okay, so let's have a look at the graph. This is marginal private benefit is equals to marginal social benefit, and this is equals to demand. Now, marginal private cost is here, whereas marginal social cost is up here, right? This is marginal social cost, this is marginal private cost. They are producing right now at this quantity, but if allocative efficiency were to occur, it should have been produced at this point. Q star and P star. Right? There is a dead weight loss. What is the dead weight loss here? As I said, in order to identify the dead weight loss, always see we will always extend a line that points out towards the social cost curve, which is this one here. So this here is our dead weight loss to the society as a result of negative externality of production. When you are to give an analysis of negative externality of production, you can say that there is overproduction because the quantity that has been produced, quantity Q1 that has been produced, is not socially optimal, rather, and there is no allocative efficiency, there is overproduction. Also, things have been sold for too low a price. This should have been the actual price at which things should have been sold. It's being sold at too low a price. Also, there is misallocation of resources. This is negative externality of production and negative externality of consumption. Now let's talk about positive externality of production and positive externality of consumption. What is positive externality of consumption? It's the benefit borne by the third party as a result of the action of consumers, and externality of production is benefits borne by the third party as a result of producers. Do such scenarios exist? They definitely do. How do they exist? For example, if we talk about positive externalities in consumption, we can say that education and healthcare are externalities of consumption. When healthcare is consumed, then obviously you can provide more benefits to other as individual who is taking care of their health by availing healthcare services. Same goes for education. So when we talk about positive externality of consumption, marginal social benefits are greater than marginal private benefits. Let's have a look at it graphically. When we are talking about consumption, costs stay the same, whereas benefits change. This is the cost, which is marginal social cost is equals to marginal private cost, right? And if we talk about benefits, then this is the marginal private benefit, which is less, and marginal social benefit is more. Marginal social benefit is more. If we look at how much it is being produced. It's being produced at this point, price point P1, quantity Q1, whereas a socially optimal output would have been somewhere up here, produced at a price P star and the quantity Q star. We can see that there is underconsumption and underproduction. Also, again, misallocation of resources. Socially optimal output is at Q star. Where is the dead weight loss? We can see that the dead weight loss is, as I said, we should extend the line that points out towards the social benefit or social cost curve. So in this case, this is the dead weight loss. The triangle that is the dead weight lost is this one. This is the dead weight lost. You can give an analysis by saying that there is underconsumption and underproduction of goods and services that could have maximized benefits to the society. Therefore, we are missing out on potential benefits in form of dead weight loss. Also, if the output shifts towards socially optimal output, which is Q star, more people will be able to reap benefits of whatever goods and services are in question. Then we can see positive externality of production. In positive externality of production, when we talk about production, there is no change in benefits, but there is change in cost. Positive externality of production, marginal social cost is less than marginal private cost. So let's have a look at it. Benefits stay the same. Marginal social benefit is equals to marginal private benefit is equals to demand. When we talk about the cost, this is the marginal private cost, which is high, which is higher than the social cost. Marginal social cost is below the marginal private cost. They are producing at this level. The output is being produced at this level, at this price, P1, Q1. Whereas the society would want it to be produced at a slightly lower price and the higher output, which is greater than Q1. Let's name it Q star, and the price should have been P star. Where is the dead weight loss? This is, okay, I have labeled it wrong. This is the marginal social cost. Marginal social cost is below the marginal private cost. Okay, that is why the society would want it to produce at Q star. Where is the dead weight loss? Dead weight loss is the line that points out towards the social cost curve, which is here. We already have it here, right? Okay. It means that there is again underproduction and underconsumption. If the output is shifted from Q1 to Q star, more people will be able to avail the benefit which the society is losing on. This is the dead weight loss. This is the potential benefit that the society could reap. Now, what can be an example of externality of production? Externality of production can be in-work training and the money spent on R&D. If somebody is training their employees in a very good manner, when those employees they leave the job, they go to other employers, those employers will reap the benefit of training that these people have received, and they wouldn't have to spend any money on these people. So these are the graphs of negative and positive externalities of production and consumption. Let's review it once again. When we are talking about negative externality means whatever is the benefit or benefit to the society is less. and cost to the society is more. Whenever we are talking about positive externality, it means benefit to the society is more and cost to the society is less. In both scenarios, it's the opposite is happening in positive and negative. When we are talking about externality of consumption, it means nothing is happening to the cost, but benefit curves are moving. When we are talking about externality of production, be it positive, be it negative, then nothing is happening to the benefit, but cost curves are moving. Moving ahead, let's talk about asymmetric information. What is asymmetric information? Asymmetric is the opposite of symmetric. Symmetric means perfect. Everybody has the same kind of information. That is called symmetrical information. When we are talking about asymmetric information means one party has more information as compared to the other party. Which are the parties involved? The buyers and the sellers. In the real world scenario, mostly sellers have more information as compared to the buyers, but the other dynamic is also true. In this information age, we as customers and consumers, we always do prior research before purchasing a product or before making a purchase decision. That way, we also can have more information as compared to the sellers. Asymmetric information is mostly beneficial for the economy, if, for example, surgeons and doctors, they know more about medical decisions as compared to the patients. That is more beneficial. People wouldn't want to have doctors and surgeons who do not have good knowledge of the medical profession and surgical procedures. Also, in certain markets, we have dealers who have more information as compared to the buyers. As a result, substandard goods can be sold to the buyers. These are all examples of asymmetric information. But there are two kinds of consequences of asymmetric information. One of them is adverse selection. This happens when one party has more information as compared to the other party. For example, buyers of used cars may end up purchasing more low quality cars in the market, reducing the market for good quality vehicles. Other one is a moral hazard. Moral hazard may happen when one party takes actions that the other party cannot observe but which affect both of them. This applies in cases of loans where one person takes a higher risk to establish their business for which they take a loan. Also, it can happen with insurance when one party can take actions prohibited by the policy. Next is use of cost and benefits in analyzing decision. Cost and benefit analysis is most often used in case of projects that economies need to undertake, be it government, be it the public sector, also the private sector. They always undertake a cost benefit analysis before finalizing which project to undertake and which one to reject. If the costs are higher and benefits are low, then it may be a bad project. But if social benefits are higher, then they will undertake the project. What is the stepwise approach to carry out a cost benefit analysis? That you identify all costs and you assign a monetary value to all the relevant costs and benefits. That monetary value that you assign is called shadow pricing. Then you forecast the future costs and benefits, and then you make a decision that would help in the long run. With this, we come to the end of this chapter. The main parts of this chapter were negative and positive externalities and costs and benefits, and how the decision to undertake a project is made. I will see you in another video with another chapter.